Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be about how I take my notes. I made a video about this like way long time ago, right when I first started my channel, so I thought I would do an updated one because my note-taking style has changed quite a bit. So without further ado, let's just get right on into the video. So before we start out, I'm going to show you guys the products that I use for writing my notes. The first thing is obviously notebooks. So I use the White Lines notebooks. I use the lined ones for subjects like biology or chemistry or for basically most of my subjects. But then I do have the dot grid one for math. So I love using this dot grid one for math. As you can see, it's a little bit beaten up because that allows me to draw things a bit more easily, which I have to do for math quite a bit. So those are the two notebooks that I use, and I really love the White Lines brand because they're super high quality, as well as they have a phone app so you can scan your notes on your phone, so in case you ever lose your notebook or spill water on a certain page or something, you have all your notes already saved on your phone. So I will kind of put a clip of how that works on the screen. It's super easy. I really like it. So those are the notebooks that I use. And so now when it comes to like pens and pencils and such, I'm pretty simple. I use the mild liner pens. I have like so many. The mild liner pens when it comes to like headers and stuff. I try to make my notes decently colorful so it's not just like staring at like a bunch of words all day. And then for when it comes to the writing, I just used a Papermate black pen, the Flex Grip pen. So it's super simple, super cheap. You can literally buy a pack of these for like hardly anything, so that's why I really like those. And if I do use pencil, I mostly use pen for my notes, but if I do ever use pencil, I use the 0.5 millimeter pencils from Muji. So that's basically all the stationery I use for taking notes. Pretty simple, pretty basic. I don't like to get too complicated with them, but yeah, that is what I personally use. So I'm just going to come on to the voiceover to show you guys what my notes look like. So as you can see, I make them very colorful. I use colorful things for titles, and then I also use that color like throughout. Basically what I do is I take the topic and I write it, and then just everything from that section of the textbook or from that section of class. And then I also do little reviews at the end of every unit, or sometimes I do little summaries. So basically when I do those, I just go through all my notes from that section and I just kind of flip through them in order to create a good summary. And then at the beginning of every new unit, I kind of make a big title in cursive and kind of outline it. And then again, just doing the same thing every month or every unit, I do a different color, just so everything is a little bit different and I don't get sick of the same color over and over again. So as you can see, I do lots of little drawings, diagrams. I draw out my graphs and stuff so that they're easier for me to understand later when I am studying. I also use bullet points. These are super important, so if there's anything that can be bullet pointed, do it because it's going to be way easier for you to read. And I also color in like steps, so I'll label things 1, 2, and 3 if I'm doing a problem with steps. And then I also do lots of other little diagrams and fun things. As you can see, I have lots of bullet points, lots of color wherever possible. I try to label things super clearly. I use arrows, as you can see a lot here, in order to make my point. Now that I've kind of showed you some ways that I take my notes and kind of what they look like and the stationery that I use, I thought I would also give you guys some tips for when you're taking your notes to make it a little bit more like bearable and also to make your notes easier to read. So things for making note-taking a little bit more fun, I would say to use lots of different markers, colors, play with different fonts and stuff, so that doing your notes doesn't feel like such a chore. I mean, it is still, but if you're playing around with different colors and fonts and stuff, you're going to feel like more creative, which will keep you interested. The other thing that I wanted to say about taking notes is don't watch a TV show when you're taking notes. I kind of used to do this, but I found that it didn't really help. Like I would kind of just I would take the notes, but I wouldn't retain any of them. But what I would recommend instead is listening to music, so have a playlist that you like. It doesn't even necessarily need to be study music, it can be any music. If you prefer listening to study music, that's great. It's just kind of trial and error to see what works best for you. And also, if you're having a hard time focusing when you're supposed to be writing your notes, I would recommend doing a timer so you can write notes for 20 minutes and then have a 5-minute break, or whatever works for you. Again, this is going to take some trial and error to find how long you can go while still focusing, because you don't want to be writing notes and not retaining any of them. Yes, they would be taken down, but it's kind of useless because you're not going to have learned any of the content. So when you find yourself kind of not really retaining anymore, it's probably best to just take a break. So kind of be like consciously aware when you're writing notes of when you're not paying attention anymore, and maybe know that now it's time to take a break, and then you can kind of create a system for how often that you do need breaks. Okay, so that was all my tips for taking notes. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and that it was somewhat helpful to you. If you did enjoy, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I post new videos every Tuesdays and Fridays. And make sure to hit the notification bell so you can get a notification every single time that I do upload. And I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye!